Hi guys, this is Francis, and this is for our semestral project for in math, which is I was assigned week 9 for roots and radicals. So I will start off with just simplifying expressions with roots. So um, please bear with me because my camera is really I don't know how to flip it. So I have to manually flip it. And it's embarrassing. So, but I will just let you guys know ahead of time just so that you won't be weirded out why I'm flipping it. So, um, in essence, simplifying a perfect square is what number times by itself is equal to that number or square root. So let's start off with a few examples, which is which is so let's do square root of um, 16, and the only thing I can think of is a 4. 4 times 4 equals 16. And what else? 9. 9. Square root of 9. The perfect number that you can multiply that would come up with this sum is a 3. So 3 times 3 equals 9. And 64, 64, square root of 64 is an 8. 8 times 8 equals 64. How about 49? 49, square root of 49 is a 7. 7 times 7 equals 49. So what if there's a negative square root 64? It would still be the same. It would still have the same answer, which is an 8. 8 times 8 is still equals 64. But if the square root and the minus is inside, then that cannot be, and that is not a valid formula, which it would say, or it does not exist when it's not a valid formula. So let's look at a few perfect squares that we can discuss. Starting off with, let's say, I hope that you can see me, guys, or I hope that you can see my equation or my formula. So we'll start with we'll start with um, we'll start with a perfect square. A few examples of a perfect square. Perfect square, square root of 4 is a 2, and a square root of 9 is a 3. A square root of 16 is a 4, and the square root of 25 is 5. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 49 is a 7. And the square root of 64, which we talked about earlier, is an 8. Square root of 81 is a 9. Square root of 100 is 10. Square root of 121 is 11. Square root of 144 is 12. and the square root of 169 is 13. So let's say, for example, we have a square root, which is square root 40, that you can't multiply, that gives you a perfect square or the perfect number that equals to 40. So it would be somewhere in the middle of 4 and 5. Somewhere in the middle of 4 and 5. So your answer would be equals 4 and 5. So let's do another example. Square root of 115, which there's nothing that's a perfect square, or nothing that you can multiply it that gives you the exact amount. So this, we have 100. Square root of 100 is 10, and a square root of 121 is 11. So it would be in between 10 and 11. So it would be 10 and 11. And let's do another example. Square root of 70. There's nothing that we can multiply that gives us a perfect number that would give us 70. So it would be in the middle of 64 and 81. That would be in the middle of 64 and 81. So it would be an 8 and a 9. So those are the perfect squares, and these are the imperfect squares. And this is how to answer the square root of imperfect squares. And I hope you understood my explanation, and I hope you actually, please bear with me that my camera is like this. Thank you.